Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices. Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome.
We're back.
We are back. Back, baby.
We're back.
How's everybody?
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
We're good. We can address the white elephant right out of the gate. Lourdes is sitting this one out because she's got her little granddaughter who just appeared on camera pre-show, and she's leaving to go back to Florida tomorrow. So good luck getting Grandma away from that situation.
Yeah, agree.
Don't blame her.
Bring the baby again. No. Bring the baby.
I don't know where the baby is. I think the baby's upstairs getting a diaper change. She'll bring her back down.
Darn.
So that's what Lourdes is doing. That's why she's not here tonight. She feels fine. She's just taking advantage of what she should take advantage of.
That's
Understandable.
Right.
Completely understandable.
But she felt very bad, too, because tonight, I understand we have 3 people we've never heard of who investigated a place we've never been. And how exciting could that be?
It's okay. It's just the Cocos enrolled, so it's fine.
That's how she felt bad, because those are 3 people that we have a lot of love and respect for.
Yeah.
And not to mention the fact that they're presenting evidence from the Montgomery house, which we know is amazing.
Need to see the baby.
Agreed, Karen.
Show us the baby.
The baby's mama is watching, Alyssa.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Alyssa, your baby's
watching
so
now.
cute.
I know.
put your baby on, girl.
Yeah, she is cute. She's a really good baby, too.
Nice.
Awesome, guys. Normally we talk a lot and make ourselves look stupid. Tonight we're just going to do that during the show because we're really good at doing it at the beginning, the end, and all during the middle of it. So for those of you that didn't figure out what Ron was talking about, tonight we have Todd and Carmella of 222 Paranormal, and we have, for the first time ever on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence, we have Raul Torres.
You got to say it right.
Paranormal. Huh?
Raul.
You got to say it right. Raul.
Raul. And the best part is evidence from their investigation when they came down to North Carolina and did the Montgomery house, which Audra and I run. And the best part about that is normally when groups come down and go to the Montgomery house, we let them have their investigation. While they were here, they were so fantastic. They invited Audra and I to do the investigation with them. And they've got a ton of evidence tonight. So I want everybody to say hello to Raul and Dos Coco.
Dos Coco.
Dos Coco.
Awesome.
There's Jay.
Guys.
Hello.
I love that they included you guys in the investigation. Every time since Lourdes and I have been doing this, we go to a location and there's people who are involved, who are good investigators, and they have a connection with the place and or what's there. Always. That's like having the ultimate trigger object and going, no, I'm going to leave it home.
Especially this one at the Montgomery house. She is a major trigger object.
That's why we thought instead of having you guys sit out, that's why we were like, you know what, to make them feel comfortable with us, newbies coming into the house, we figured, hey, we used you two as trigger items.
You are ghost bait.
We were parabait, huh?
That's
That's
right.
awesome.
Better than that.
Yeah. I think
Hi, Daniel. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it very much.
I think a lot of us and a lot of the people who watch this show know you guys from the chat. They know you. Todd and Carmella have been here before. We're probably like we are looking forward to this show because I know from our perspective, we've had the chance to work in the field with all 3 of you, and it's been great. So now you guys collectively going down to a place that we know is an amazing location, and then Chris assuring us that the evidence coming through tonight is fantastic. This
Yes.
is good.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and very when Raul and Carmella and I we were talking about it, and then I think we were on the show, and we like Chris was mentioned that hey, getting ready to open up for the season. We're like, all right, what's the first date available? And we're like, all right, we're going.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And
You guys have all met Todd and Carmella before because they've been on the show, but Raul, this is this first time on the show. So first time you're a guest, Raul, we always have to ask you, tell our audience what got you hooked on the paranormal.
Drugs. I mean, no. So, I've always been interested in the paranormal. I've grown up Hispanic, of course. You always see different things that happen with family members around you and stories, and you experience some of them. Everything from people that all of a sudden communicate to a dead grandmother, and she's giving facts that nobody else knows to each person. Things like that. It was always been interesting growing up. And then I always had an interest towards, got hooked with the book Communion by Willie Stryber, got hooked into reading about Bigfoot, and then got hooked into paranormal and ghosts. So I was always that kid in the library that was always in the paranormal section, whatever little section they had, reading all those books. So I definitely, for years, I always read about it, wanted to get involved in it. And then about 12 years ago, my wife got tired of me and told me to find a hobby. So I said, I'll start doing paranormal investigating then. I always want to do it. And she goes, you should do it. It's something you've always been interested in. And I used to always go to places, but never got into buying the equipment and stuff. And then 12 years ago, I decided, let me start investing into it and actually doing some paranormal investigating. And I first started going with different teams to see their environment, ended up forming my own team. And then later on, I just ended up finding the right places and people that made it more enjoyable, and it got me hooked. Now I try to go almost every other weekend somewhere because of it.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Before Team Coco, really quickly, can I have my new co-host? Anthony Voices. A lot of people don't know Lourdes is being replaced. We found somebody who we think is going to increase the ratings dramatically.
Oh,
Hi, Brutus. You're so cute.
This is Janelle, aka Eyes and Cheeks.
What's up, Eyes and Cheeks? What are you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is so adorable.
So precious.
Yay, yay, yay.
Yeah. Now she has to go off camera because there's laws against that, I think.
Thank you.
he is
Thanks
cute.
for sharing.
Thank you, Lourdes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think everybody in the audience is saying thank you also because they love that.
All right. Well, that was sweet.
All right, Todd and Carmella, give us a really quick refresher how you guys got into it.
We've been together since high school. We met junior year in high school, where our birthdays are one day apart.
You were a junior. I was a senior.
She was a senior. I was a junior. I stayed back in first grade, and basically we did a lot of traveling, vacations and stuff. And when we would do vacations, we would always do like the haunted ghost history tours and stuff like that. And never did really formal investigations. And like Raul's wife, said, go find a hobby. We got older. Our boys.
I didn't tell you that.
Our boys got older. And they said, hey, mom and dad, go get a hobby. So we, basically we had the opportunity to find some down the street, a local historic place, and started doing some investigations. And this has led us to meeting all you great people, and Raul and Ron and Lourdes and Tony and Cherie and Chris and Audra. And, it's been a great experience. And we, like I said in our bio, we're fortunate to be in such a great central location to so many historic and locations to investigate.
Fantastic.
Amazing hobby and also expensive hobby. Very.
I don't think we have anything booked this month.
We don't. June kind of just
June,
calm.
because then we got 3 in July.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good to balance it out. We've had no breaks in May at all. I think the upcoming weekend we have, we might even have something on Friday, but
Right.
Where were you last weekend?
Last weekend we were at the UFO encrypted conference in Connecticut, in Trumbull, Connecticut, held at the Marriott. It was really nice. Nicholas Robert Grossman ran it, really nicely run. They had vendors out in the hall areas and separate rooms, and then in the main room was a big ballroom, and it had vending tables going around the room like an L, like a U. And they stopped at the stage. He had a big stage with a podium and all these seats facing the stage. So every presenter had people sitting down for the lectures facing the stage.
Oh, wow.
And we went opposite Ronnie LeBlanc after him Saturday, and I went before him because Ortis didn't come that day for the same reason. I went before him on Sunday, and it was fantastic. I was lecturing on Sunday, and I look off to the stage during an evidence clip, and I see John Zaffis pointing, which is funny. But yeah, that's where we were. It was really nicely done.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to get us rolling because we've got a lot of great evidence from the Montgomery
Got a lot
house.
of ground to cover.
You know me, I send everything under the sun at you, Chris.
And I apologize. I did not get a chance to get to that video to see if we caught those footsteps,
No,
but your
you're good.
recording was pretty awesome. So I added that in there too.
Gotcha.
But we are going to start with, hey, Ash. So we're going to start with a video that Raul sent into us, and it's so damn big. What's up, Giuseppe? So it's so damn big, I couldn't bring it in a StreamYard, so I'm going to have to share my screen. But this is fantastic. It shows some evidence and some reactions that Raul caught in this video. But the best part about it is it shows he does a walkthrough of the Montgomery house during this video. It's a 5-minute long video, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. There might even be a little bit of musical prelude in there. Somebody's singing through the whole video. I'm not. No, it was not, and it's not paranormal, but it sure was. It sure raised some spirits.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say about that. So let me share this screen so you can all see this. This is Raul's contribution tonight.
Is it G-rated or is it?
It's G-rated.
Incidentally, that was my hip hop name in the '80s. G-rated. Yeah.
G-rated.
Raul's a really awesome dude. I wouldn't say he's a singer. Get this queued up.
And should we mute our microphones during this since it's a share screen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to talk through it.
All right, and here we go.
Great. Now you're ringing the bell upstairs. Nobody's upstairs. If I go upstairs, you'll probably be gone. Let's go see if I can see you. You can say hi to me. Nobody will believe me anyway because I'm the only one up here. Mr. Bojangles. That's what I mean. Mr. Bojangles. Hello. My name's Raul. What's yours? Hey, Craig, I saw you. It's cold out here, but that's probably normal. You're ringing the bell before, see? And now I'm up here and you don't ring anything. Hello. Anybody here? Yes? Who's here? Is it Sarah? Ring the bell with Sarah. Is it somebody's not Sarah? Ring the bell. Is there anybody here? Yeah, just a ring, just a ring. All right. Say hello. Mr. Bojangles. Anybody up here? There's a bell right there. If there's somebody here, can you please ring that bell? Can you please ring that bell, please? Man, you don't ring anything for me. Mr. Bojangles. I'm sing that Bojangles song until you get tired of it. Ring the bell. Mr. Bojangles. You ever heard that song? Mr. Bojangles. Oh, now you ring the bell. But then you run. Stop running. Ring the bell while I'm looking at you. I hear a step. Doesn't mean anything. It could be a creaking house. Keep ringing the bell when I'm not looking at you. Anybody in here? Sarah, I heard you like to play hide and seek. Oh, you're good at it. I'm not gonna ever see you. Going down the stairs. And I give up. I think I'm gonna call it a day soon. Day, a minute, whatever you wanna call it. Alright. Let me go get my equipment that's up there. Put that down. Because you're not doing anything around. Yeah. Yes. Now you ring the bell twice. You don't pay attention otherwise. Alright. I'm going downstairs. What? Now you want to talk to me? I've given up already. You waited until I gave up.
So that was somebody telling Ro to get the hell out.
That's wild because we were, Raul was like, oh, I didn't get that much. He really, when we were talking to him, when we came back on evidence review, we were like, he's like, I really didn't get that much. I'm like, but I didn't know the spirits were playing hide and seek with you as much as they did. That's mind blowing because it leads into the one video the first video, I don't know if that's the one that Chris is going to show, that I sent to him when you were in the parlor, Miss Montgomery's parlor. You're in there, your equipment was going crazy, was acting funny, and then the minute you walked out, what happened?
Let's take a look. I have it queued up. Here we go.
Ah, nice.
there? You didn't like where we've been in your parlor?
She waits until I turn off my camera.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That plays into the whole theme of they were like playing with you like hide and seek or whatever.
Yeah,
That's how it really felt. It really felt like there was somebody playing around. Every time I turned my back, they ring the bell and hide again.
Yeah.
And every time I just stood there to watch the bell, nothing would happen. But every time I entered a room that was off to the side, they would ring the bell. So I felt like it was like a little mischievous kid running in and out, just playing with me.
I like your the bell, your trigger object, because that bell, it's hard and it will give you pressure when you hit the bell. So that means if something ring that
you hear
bell,
the bell, something pushed it.
yeah.
Yeah, Todd, explain the bell to them too, because I also saw that Uncle Giuseppe said it in the chat too that it's not what he thinks.
Right. So the dead bell is, you have two options. So the dead bell is sitting on, it's triggered by EMF. So there is a dial that you can turn it on. So it's like a REM, I guess like a REM podish or whatever, or K2.
So it's not a regular bell?
There's a bell, but the bell sits on top of a little wooden box. Internal parts have EMF, sensor components. Now, when I turn the device on, or when I turn the control knob on to power it on, you can adjust, like, other devices, the sensitivity. That thing, I turn it on and I turn it all the way. It's like literally, it's like it's ready to be turned off. I put it at the lowest setting. So like I've turned it up and it's constantly going ding, 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 ding. So I'm like, nope, I want it all the way down. So if something that to us, that seems like it's going to be, a valid kind of response, interaction, especially the whole timing and relevance.
So I can tell you that night when Todd set it up, I tested it, and you have to almost get to the button of the bell in order for it to pick it up and hit.
Yeah.
So it's not like super sensitive like a REM pod. You can't, like a REM pod, you can wrap your arm around the antenna or your hand around the antenna like this and it goes off.
Right there.
This thing, I was this close to the button before it would go off.
There it is.
There
so
it is.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
You're
There it
fine.
is. I got to find the sweet spot. So that's yeah. It's trying to focus on.
It's taking you to the spirit world.
I'm going to take here. I'm going to take give me 1 second. I'm going to take off the
virtual background. Yeah.
That
It was
way.
competing with that. Yeah, and a lot of people had the same conception when it came out. I don't know if they publicized it or advertised it to the degree that it works.
Yep. So right there. So technically, it's not on right now. If I put it down, I just tapped it. So that's me tapping it. When I turn it on, it triggers it like senses the sensor. You hear that little ding, but right now it's like ready to, I'm like, I can feel the tension of it being ready to be turned off. And that's, kind of what I do, but I always put it on the lowest setting. And we've had, I don't know if it's my magnet over here. We've got a lot of, and you'll see the evidence. We got some crazy direct response, like immediate. So I almost want to send this to Tony, and I was just thinking about this, to buy one and send it to you, to have you look at it. Because honestly, if there's something in the device that is going to, we want it to be as truthful and valid response and interactions as possible.
Hey, that's an excellent point. Do you know if the bell sound comes from the actual bell itself, or is it an electronic bell sound?
No, I think it comes. It comes.
No, it comes from the bell itself.
Yeah, it comes from the bell itself.
Okay.
So, and that's at Penhurst Paracon, I Ghost Stop, who I purchased. We purchased from, who puts it out. The vendor was actually right next to Ron and Lourdes where they were at, and I was talking to them, and they were good. So the first bell we had gotten, we used it for the first time, and we had an experience like it rapid fired like 20 sometimes in a row.
Wow.
And then it actually burned out. Like something happened. So we don't know if it was the wiring components or if it was just, hey, whatever activated it or triggered it or interacted with the bell fried it.
Yeah,
They
possible.
were very good. Sent it back to them. They sent one right back to us, and we've had nothing but great results with it. So
Yeah, you guys have had a lot of circumstances in different locations. like we had with Rich Michella at the PH Steakhouse.
Steakhouse,
That
yeah.
bell has been magic for you guys. It really has.
And I almost had the because I know you sent us the Team Coco with the dead bell and a picture of us and stuff.
I did
the promo, so we appreciate that. I almost used that as our background, but I just felt a little creepy having myself kind of looking in the background behind me, so I didn't use that as. So, but yeah, we've had a lot of good responses with it.
And I can tell you guys that night he had at the Montgomery house, and you can ask everybody in here except the three of you guys up top. I played with that thing. It is the bell that makes the noise. It's not a bell sound coming out of the box. It is the bell that actually rings. And I even timed it to see if the chimes were a certain amount of time, and it would just happened to was a coincidence with our questions, and it wasn't. The dinging from the bell, the stuff that you'll see tonight that Todd and Carmella sent in that we were all involved in, it was timing and relevance, and it was intelligence. I did everything I could to debunk that thing.
And you saw in the video where it was like waiting for me to go into a room and then ring the bell. And then when it saw that, I said to it, I'm leaving. I'm about to go. I'm not coming back. Then it started like tapping the bell like crazy. Like
that was that's wild that it did. And I didn't realize that you had that much interaction with the bell when you were kind of leaving the rooms and stuff. So that just blew my mind when we were watching that video.
Those people who sell that thing should be paying the three of you guys, because if that happens once, you could chalk it up to coincidence. Somebody could say, well, it just happened. But the amount of times you three had it happen is beyond coincidence and more than your money's worth.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
All right. I want to make sure. Yes, you do, Ash.
You do.
It's a great location, man. Anybody that I'll plug it now. I know we're going to plug it at the end of the show, but listen, we want to get back down there as quickly as possible to kind of experience it and do a follow up and stuff. And Chris and Audrey were great hosts, and
Yep, I would definitely want to go back for sure.
Loved having you guys.
You guys are welcome anytime. We have a video of Audra in the parlor. So for everybody watching, this is Mrs. Montgomery. This is the Montgomery house. This was her parlor. This is where she entertained. This is where she spends most of her time. She's always in there. We always get responses from her in there. Audra, she loves Audra to death. She'll chew Audra's ass. She'll say hi to Audra. So this video ties in with some pictures that you took from the video so we can show you guys. Yep. So this is Audra in the parlor, and this is an orb. And we've got stills to show you guys too. So let's watch that video. Here we go.
I guess I should say. Mrs. Montgomery. Alice, we're not here, obviously, to disturb you. I'm so sorry. We just like visiting with you. Another female, I guess I should say. Mrs. Montgomery. Alice, we're not here, obviously, to disturb you. I'm so sorry. We just like visiting.
Wow, I'm not really an orb kind of person, but holy crap.
Right? Yeah. And when I seen it, and I didn't want to say anything, and I'm trying to remember if I sent it in the group chat to you to see it beforehand, but when you backed up and I seen that when we were doing a review, I was like, Carmella, I said, holy crap. I said, you got to come and look at this. I'm like, Audra has no idea. Like, that Miss Montgomery just kind of, it's an anomaly.
We can talk during these. Let me show you the still shots. So that has a light source to it.
Yep. It's almost like an image inside of it.
Yeah. And if you look, like if you zoom in, I know it's hard, I don't know if you're able to zoom in. So on that left-hand side, it's kind of illuminated just on the left, kind of in the between the 10 and 11 o'clock position. It's illuminated up on that left-hand corner.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Like 9, 10 o'clock. So I try, if that's dust, great. Somebody explain that to me. But that thing is away from the camera. It's not close. It's
a perfect sphere.
And
it's not a light source. I mean, it's
or circle.
Are you using?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, baby.
Let me ask a few questions first. The camera being used, is it full spectrum? Is that what's producing the purplish hue?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any external light on the camera?
While using the
So it was the IR light from the camera and the full spectrum light from that have an external full spectrum. So there was two. There's like a small one on the camera, but then I had a larger one that's mounted to the camera.
Right. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. Any mirrors, picture frames, glass in her?
Yes, but they're about 6 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Higher up.
The windows. That's it.
Right. But the only rational explanation, I mean, I'm looking at it and it doesn't look like lens flare, but that would be the only thing I could think of from a rational explanation.
So here you go.
Yeah, play the video one more time. I just want to see where the camera's pointed when it shows up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Male, I guess I should say. This is my gum. Thomas, we're not here, obviously, to disturb you. I'm so sorry. We just like visiting with you. Another female, I guess I should say. This is my gum. Thomas, we're not here, obviously, to disturb you. I'm so sorry. We just like visiting.
Who's operating the camera?
So
Nobody.
nobody. So the initial portion before you kind of see me kind of scroll back, that camera's stationary. It's on a table or something. Whatever's in the parlor, it's actually stationary. It's on a table on a tripod. It's not moving. What you see is when I did this, when I screen recorded it to present, I zoomed in so you could get a closer kind of aspect. So that's the movement that you see of the camera. It's me manipulating, kind of zooming in, pinching in on, to get a better view of the anomaly of the.
Okay, that's actually great to hear, because if the camera was stationary and wasn't moving, then it can't be light or lens refraction, because the camera's not moving. Yet the orb is. So okay.
Yeah, what's
great
also amazing, because you guys are using what's that red thing again? Not
full spectrum.
Full spectrum, because that orb shouldn't be showing in there, but it's still, you can see it, right?
You can clearly see it.
Yeah. That's
Full spectrums are pretty good about not showing dust. They can, but they're much better at not showing dust than a regular camera with a regular flash or external light. Full spectrum is a little softer on, and that's a, I don't. That's
well, and to add to that, Tony, that if you look with the direction the camera's pointing, the only thing that would have had glass on it but does not, because it's a hand-painted picture, is the picture in the center at the top above the mantle.
Yeah, and I can tell that there is no glass there, because you would see a streak on the glass and then you'd see the reflection on the camera, and there's nothing there. So I agree
there's
with
nothing that could reflect light back to cause lens flare.
Right, I agree with that completely.
Yeah, and I'm no orb expert here. However, Audra was walking around, so her feet could have arguably been a cause for causing dust, right? Could have been the thing behind dust appearing. But that's the biggest collusion of dust I've ever seen, where they all decided to congregate in one almost perfectly shaped sphere. And nothing else dust-like or floating around in that entire picture at all.
Right.
Correct.
And it pulses and it vanishes between where it is there and then when it reappears on a chair. Again, orbs are not my specialty. However, I'm not sure. I can't explain why it would have popped out and then popped back in front of the chair.
It's on, I'm not saying it's, and that's, Bobby Gallo. Where's Bobby Gallo when we need him? Because he introduced us. I know we read the Orb Project, and orbs have fascinated me. And we've had a number of occurrences now, a handful of nice occurrences of captures of very similar orbs, just like that, in different locations using the full spectrum camera. And there has been times when we've seen, it's at another local spot. It's about 10 minutes from us. You can see the dust like you talked about, Tony. It was in the basement. It's a dirt floor. You can see the particles flying around. And then amongst those particles, you see a very identical, similar single flashing orb, just like you've seen here. And that's been the consistent where we have the captures we've had, they've been pulsing and moving in not an erratic kind of pattern, so to speak.
Right. Okay. And if it would have been dust, it would have been more than just one orb. It would have been multiple orbs.
Exactly what I was saying. Precisely what I was saying. Yep, I agree 100% too. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Way cool.
Yeah, very cool.
I was just curious that Audra, I hope that didn't spook Audra too much, seeing that the orb after seeing, because it's a neat occurrence. Like you said, there's all right. Hey, what's causing that? But
yeah, no, Mrs. Montgomery's always in that room.
Yeah,
So
it was her kind of way, just floating by you and maybe saying hello.
Well, and she always seems to manifest when Audra's in that room too. So
there you go, Geo.
Yeah, circular. There you go. I shouldn't say manifest. We've never physically seen her manifest. She always seems to make herself known when Audra's in the room on multiple occasions, multiple times.
I've gotten yelled at. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Raul walks out, Miss Montgomery lets Raul go.
Yeah.
I'm the reverse. I'm the reverse ghost magnet. They don't want to bother with me when I'm in the room.
All right. The next one we got is the male servant cat ball. Phasma box.
Yep. So this is I think this is in the Civil War room.
Yep.
And we got, we were asking about the Jacob and Jeremiah, I think, other servants, right, Audra and Chris?
Yes.
So we just went about asking, and we had the capital out, we had the Phasma box going.
Not Jacob, it's
Joseph
and Jeremiah. Yeah.
Jacob was the EVP that we got.
EVP.
Yeah.
So, hey, Ron, right at the end of this clip, let me know what you hear. Tony, you too, and Cherie.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I'm just saying.
I know. That's the other thing you guys get a lot.
And for clarification, everybody, when everybody says the Civil War room, the Montgomery County Historical Society was going to use the 1830s plantation house, the Montgomery House. They were going to use it as their museum. But when they realized the cost it would take to climatize the house, because it is in its original structure, there's no insulation whatsoever.
In this house. The
floorboards are literally just 6x10 floorboards that you can see down to the ground through a couple spots on the floor. They realized it would way too expensive to climatize it to be able to store some of the antiques that they have. But some of the rooms were set up to prepare for that. So there's one room where the Montgomery County Historical Society has all these pictures of troops and regiments that were in the Civil War from Montgomery County. So when we refer to the Civil War room, we call it the Civil War room. It was what we believe was originally Dr. Montgomery's office where he would see patients. But we call it the Civil War room because there's Civil War crap all over the wall. So, all right. So here is that video of the male servant cat ball. Here we go.
So are you a male servant, or if you're a male servant, can you touch that little ball? Thank you. We appreciate that response.
It sounded like Staticom.
Right? Yeah, I heard Staticom.
Ding, 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 yeah. It's not the first.
Can you play that again?
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like Staticom with an accent. Hang on.
They get Staticom all the time. They get Staticom like we get Rathman.
All right. Here we go. Here he goes.
So are you a male servant, or if you're a male servant, can you touch that little ball? Thank you. We appreciate that response.
So it actually says what we think it says. He has seen Staticom, meaning me and me, I guess in particular.
Yeah, they were wondering why you were using that plasma box instead of using Satacom.
Right.
That's right.
Good point, Raul.
They're going, why are you using this thing? You've seen Staticom.
Yep.
And you know what? They have too, because we did it when the 6 of us did the Montgomery House. So.
And maybe that's how they're associating, because they know we're friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And hey, they know that we've seen it in person with Ron and Lourdes. Right? So it's all about layering and connections and
So crazy.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
All right, so the next clip we have is Audra Deadbell 2.
Wow, that sounds like a movie.
I know. It's like a horror film, right?
She's mad at me.
Just watch Audra's facial expression.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
One little blip, two actually, when I first came in. She was right here.
Mm-hmm.
You must have caught her doing something.
There it is, Kristen. Audra, can you jump down and say hi? Jump down to the landing here, get that pretty blue thing to change colors.
If I were her, I'd be
Won't
sitting
hurt,
right
it'll
in the
feel
chair, ringing the bell.
There you go.
Thank you. How come I didn't catch you then, Misty? Are you right here?
You got a direct response?
Yep. She said if I were you, I'd be sitting in the chair and I'd ring the bell.
There you go.
And
Is that what you do? What? I don't feel ya. Where are you?
That's awesome.
I think Audra EVP'd a little.
Yeah, I was saying if I were you, I would sit right here too. Are you sitting right here? Ring the bell. Ding. I'm like, woo.
So she got a direct, intelligent response to the question
That's
asked.
amazing.
Yep.
If you're sitting here, ring the bell. Ding.
Ding.
And get that thing out of my lap is what they were saying.
Out of my chair. Yeah,
That's
wow.
awesome. Yeah, the jump scares. She does not like.
I don't watch
And
scary.
I loved it when I saw it, because I didn't know, because you can hear Chris and I think Raul, we may have been in the other room doing, you could hear us talking to, doing a Q&A kind of in the other room. So we didn't know. And then when we reviewed, I'm like, oh my God, how precious was Audra's facial expression when
That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, at least we're not screaming. I'm good.
Right.
No dude run.
No dude run. Just a little ooh.
Next clip we got is 10 Moon Pain 433 Little Girl Voice.
Oh,
You could have made that title more complicated, could you?
Sorry
Right,
about
what
that.
does that mean?
So this is, it's in the dining room. Don't make the show off the rails yet, please. So this is we have the full spectrum camera set up in the dining room, and it's just you can kind of hear us in the background. So I don't know if it's us. I don't think it is, Chris. I think I'd let you listen to it, and Audra. But there's initially you hear, we believe, a moan of a male voice, but then right after that you hear a little child's voice, little girl's voice. Can't make it out, but you hear. So if you have your speakers, turn them up, because it is a little bit, I don't know how it comes across.
On stream here, it might be down a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
No, yeah, I don't think it.
Didn't come through.
So let's do this. But I can tell you, I didn't moan during that investigation.
Thank goodness.
And the three of you guys spent the night, so I didn't moan after the investigation. I got her to shake her head once a show at least. All right, so let me share the screen.
Monchichi.
The Monchichi corner. That's right. That's the same corner.
Right, and that's why I had the camera there, Ash, because I was trying to get the little figure to see if we could get the figure in that from the picture from their evidence popping over the table. So that was the thought process why I had the camera facing that direction.
That corner is a very popular corner. We've had the PPIT caught the Civil War soldier. They caught the little Monchichi thing. Now you're catching moans. All right, so here we go again. Everybody mute your cameras because we'll be able to talk through this.
Right on.
The cameras or
your microphones? So what I can tell you is that is a little girl's voice. None of us moaned, unless Raul was doing some freaky crap outside.
If anybody wants to hear it, send us an email, and I will send you the file clip so you can hear it because it's there. It's just I know it's hard to hear.
You can hear the little girl's voice, and it almost sounds like it's coming from upstairs.
We couldn't hear a thing.
Yeah.
Really?
So I didn't know if it was muted or.
Yeah, I couldn't. I heard it more the first time before you did the share screen.
Really? Well, let's try it again. Here we go.
No, nothing.
I didn't hear it that time either.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'll send you. Anybody wants it? Like I'll send you the clip or whatever, so you can listen to it because it's there. I mean, it's like I said, but I know it's way back in the back and the camera's just there.
We've had that happen a lot too. So.
Yeah. What's amazing is we didn't catch that little girl's voice on any of the audio stuff.
Mm.
Right.
So you're catching the little girl's voice on the camera downstairs in what is the courtroom where Sarah spends most of her time upstairs. I don't think she's ever come downstairs.
Right.
Just on the landing.
Just on the
I
landing.
saw her on the landing, but she only went halfway down.
Yeah. All right. So the next one we got is Chris and Todd Deadpell Footsteps.
Yeah. Raul said something, but he was muted. So I don't know if he realizes he's still muted. We couldn't hear you.
I was saying, how do you send that email? I can't send an email asking for the moan little girl sound.
Yeah, you send an email, you get arrested.
Just put little girl's voice, not the moan part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next time you need a secure password online, let Todd come up with it. 10 420 Roger height 42 6.
Read it again, Raul.
So, what is the next one? What were you?
All right, Chris and Todd Deadpell Footsteps.
So, this is good. We're the dead bell is upstairs. We're all downstairs. And I'm just going to say Chris may or may not drop the F-bomb in this.
That never happens.
Yeah.
That's weird. All right, here we go.
Go ahead and ding it twice for us. Let's hear you ding it twice. Show us it's really you up there making that noise. Did his footsteps up there?
Yeah. I hope we get it on audio on the cameras.
That was loud.
Yeah.
I heard you walking. Can you ring that bell again for us?
So where were the footsteps like right there?
It sounded like it was like right here.
Right here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Raul, where are you at? Okay.
I was talking loud.
Yeah.
Walk over to that bell again. There you go.
And that's, I mean, you're not even done asking the question,
Right.
and it's.
There you go.
You're getting
It's
a
not
response.
consistent enough to be just haphazard. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
You don't want us in there anymore. You're like,
Wow.
Yeah.
Just before the bell rings the first time, you hear the footsteps. It's hard to hear. Just regular. I had to put it on my big W2K speaker and crank it up, and then you literally hear thump, 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 like 3 footsteps.
Right. And just so everybody knows, Todd and I were at the base of the stairs. Raul was in the doorway going to the exterior of the house over in the kitchen area. And Carmella and Audra were in the parlor. And these footsteps are coming from above us. And Todd actually isolated the footsteps and an audio and sent it. This is it right here.
Twice for us. Let's hear you ding it twice. Show us it's really you up there making that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hear that?
That was great.
That's as loud as we heard it in the moment. He had to amplify it to get it on the audio, but that's as loud as we heard it in the moment.
Sounds like Ron coming down those steps. No way. No way. No way.
Residual energy, right?
Yeah,
Residual.
exactly.
Yeah. Did ring a bell. Oh, sorry.
But and then that's the crazy thing, right? Chris is.
I didn't hear the F-bomb.
Yeah, he's right.
It's there.
It was there.
He says it's fucking loud. That was fucking loud. But then Chris is like, walk back over, and just as he's saying that, ding, ding, he didn't even finish.
Yeah.
Well, in your voice box, it sounded like it said footsteps somewhere in there after you guys said it.
So what
I mean, I may have not heard.
You guys had the Phasma box in the
We
parlor.
had it with us, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it
Sounded like the
said-
Phasma box had
said
footsteps.
Okay.
You'll play it one more
Make it
time.
loud.
Play it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. That's a good one.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead and ding it twice for us. Let's hear you ding it twice. Show us it's really you up there making that noise. You think there's footsteps up there?
Yeah. I hope we get it on audio on the cameras.
That was loud.
Yeah.
I heard you walking. Can you ring that bell again for us?
So where were the footsteps like right there?
It sounded like it was like right here.
Right here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Raul, where are you at? Okay.
That was fucking loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did say it. Yeah, it said it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good catch, Audra.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Here's the best part. Audra's so used to me dropping F-bombs. She goes, I didn't hear you say fucking.
You didn't say it.
Yes, I did.
The second time.
Maybe I could have sworn. Oh, maybe it's in the next one. It might be next. It might be.
She's
in the
just so used to me saying it. She just blocks it.
Blocked it out.
It's called selective hearing.
Yeah.
And you know what's amazing about those footsteps is I've been in the house by
They're fucking
myself and they're fucking loud. Audra said it. I have achieved the ultimate. I got Audra to drop the F-bomb on the show.
Alice in Wonderland.
So if
But
you're
I was in
able,
the house by myself, when I was prepping it for you guys to show up, when I was prepping it for Lily from Full Moon Paranormal, I was there by myself, and I'll be downstairs doing something, and it's like, all right, I hear you.
nice.
And if
So-
you listen to the original video that I did, the first one, you heard me say at one point, I said, I hear footsteps, but that could be the house creaking. I said out loud. But I kept hearing like there was another set of footsteps following me.
Yeah, it's common. Yeah.
So are you going to show the next one, Bigfoot? The way I had sent them to you, it's kind of I had a whole theory or idea behind.
You didn't tell me that.
Sorry, I'm half Polish.
Top half or bottom half?
That's why they're all numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why everything's numbered because it's how I had everything kind of. Sorry about that. So the Raul Bigfoot is when we're there and Raul's got his night vision goggles. This starts out hilarious, and we definitely, the F-bomb is dropped here possibly multiple times.
Yes, it is.
And I've seen it before, but it was just so crystal clear, and we're like, holy shit, it's like, you'll see, it's funny. And then we actually start getting responses.
Yeah. And just to give everybody a premises about these Raul's night vision goggles, when I got hurt in the Army, I was wearing Army issued night vision goggles, which are pretty high tech clear, right? The ones Raul have, Jesus Christ, it's like you got 3 suns during daylight. You don't miss anything with his night vision goggles on. So you'll hear me refer to that in this video. So here we go.
You can see everything. Look up right.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Holy cow, man. That's crystal clear.
Oh, Lord.
What is that?
That's the night vision.
It's like perfectly clear.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I was using this to try to find Bigfoot.
I was gonna say, I was just getting ready to ask you, did you find Bigfoot outside?
I tell you what, you see from that thing, it's gonna scare the fuck out of
me. I was just getting ready to say that. You're gonna shit yourself.
I'm not afraid of much. That'd make me piss myself if I saw him on that.
Especially like you're looking, and then all of a sudden he comes along.
Getting closer. Oh, there she is again.
What?
Are we bothering you, Sarah?
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You say it's getting late.
Is that Sarah or is that Mrs. Montgomery getting pissed?
Is it time for bed?
Oh, there's your
wow, look at that. And that pegged and held red. That's crazy.
So Mrs. Montgomery, are you telling us that you're going to bed and we shouldn't be up here? Is that you telling us that? Light that up again. All the way. Like you did last time.
Can you make it go all the way to red, please? If you want us to go,
Yep.
If you want us to go to let you go to night, we can.
Oops.
All right. That's crazy. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing over here. So.
And the bell.
Wow, look at that.
Now, do you want to take this one and I'll take that one and see what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Responses on that one.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Tony.
Yeah. Carmella.
Thank you.
Did you wash your hands?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Shake it more twice.
Those goggles were so damn clear. And I'm thinking turning in, we're having a good time joking around and stuff. And the next thing you know, we're starting to get K2 responses like crazy. And the dead zone.
Yeah, that's
You're muted.
But just imagine, Raul, listen, and I was
Raul
joking.
is muted again.
Yeah.
Think of Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin Patch. So I'm laughing. The reason why I started laughing because, we're like, if you see Bigfoot, I'm thinking, imagine if you have these night vision goggles on and he pops up like this in front of you. You're going to shit yourself.
I tell you, those night vision goggles were insane. I can't see that well in broad daylight.
That's so cool.
Wow. Raul, did you have those at the Brinkerhoff thing we did in New York State?
Yeah, but I didn't get to use them. I brought them with me. I had them in the car.
Okay.
But next time I'll show you. I'll make the room look like if someone lit the light on and turn on the light.
Yeah. Well, and for everybody watching too, that first video that we showed of Raul walking through the house, that is exactly what the house looks like in daylight. He had his IR camera on. He was actually walking through pitch black.
Yeah.
It was pitch black up there.
I was walking totally in the dark, relying on the camera. If that camera would have lost power, I would have been left in the dark.
And we'd have left him up there.
Yep.
All right. So now we're going to go back a little bit. Now that I know they were numbered for a reason, we're going to go back to number 3.
You sure? Or do you want to do number 9 first?
We can.
Because 9 ties. Sorry, I don't want to run. I'm not trying to run the show.
Oh, no, you're good.
The only reason is because 9 ties into at the end Carmella's, because Audra had her K2 going.
Right.
He wasn't getting anything.
Mm-mm.
So then you hear Carmella at the end. What do you say?
I'm a silent partner. I don't say anything.
What, when you wanted to switch?
You switch, yeah. You
Oh,
switch,
we did
yeah.
that at the end of there, though.
Yeah, at the end of the video, and then
Right.
that's what it leads into this video.
Okay.
And for all the men out there watching, we know for a fact that women aren't the silent partners.
I'm the silent partner here, believe me. 100%.
This might be the one exception,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
He's the girl and I'm the guy in the relationship. Yes,
Oh, same here.
Yeah, same.
I'm the one wearing pants. He is wearing the skirt.
See? Same thing.
What?
It's true.
What?
I can tell you right now, if Tony was wearing a skirt, we never would have been doing dark investigations with him.
Yeah. Not gonna have it. Not even in Scotland. I'm not wearing it. Nope.
That's right. Yeah, we can be.
There you go.
Wear a kilt.
Yeah, wear a
But
kilt.
that does make that cock story a whole lot more sense.
Yeah, huh? He can't wear it for legal reasons.
All right. So here's that video. Here we go. Damn it, where'd it go? There it is.
Did you go to sleep?
Now I'll be curious. Yeah, come stand next to her, Audra. Let's see what happens.
All right. Did you like this one better?
A little bit.
What?
Maybe.
That's so wild.
That's
you like this
crazy.
one better. Okay.
It's a pretty purple one.
Yeah. See?
With his swirl.
You like the purple one?
I don't blame you. Mine's kind
If
of
you
not
like,
as fun.
if you like the purple color, can you make it go to red, please?
Light it all the way up.
I know it takes a lot of energy, but you can do it, please.
Or just touch it. Touch it will make it light all the way up.
Yeah.
You're almost there. Keep
Good
going.
job.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right? And then it wasn't doing anything until she walked right over here.
And yet that one won't do it. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Is ours broke?
I don't.
Or is just that one super
It's
sensitive?
sensitive, but who knows?
So
Very cool.
So RK2 is black, and I'm sure I'm gonna get corrected by the women, but Carmella's K2 is a purplish pink color.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
They were responding on Carmella's, but they wouldn't respond on the black one. It was weird.
Downstairs they did okay, but
Yeah, upstairs.
We were upstairs where
upstairs, yeah.
the little girl usually is. So
And knowing that Audra has had good K2
always
there, and that's what we were like, well, and that's what you had the presence of mind to say, hey, let's switch it up.
Yep.
They like the pretty purple color.
I
Yep.
did.
So let's go backwards a little bit. The next piece we got, the way you name these, Todd, are pornographic. So this one is titled Oregon Italian Man Cat Ball.
What?
Oh boy.
So most people watching would hear that title and think it referred to Ron Yacovetti on a Friday night after a few drinks.
And if you would have done it in order, it would have been Moan Little Girl, Oregon Italian Man.
Right?
You guys laugh, but Raul's right. If I would have done it in order, that's what it would have been.
Oh my Lord. Off the rails we go.
And Carmella's going, see, that's why I'm the silent partner.
That's right.
That's why Mr. Seminary calls her chameleon.
That's right. I just
So,
blend in.
Roger. Spirit's trying to ring Audra's bell.
No.
Now working.
Yeah, Roger joins in right as we start talking about Italian organs.
Perfect timing, Roger. Perfect timing.
So for everybody watching, let's make this G-rated. There is an organ in the Civil War room, an old electronic playing device, right? Like a piano. And there's an Italian man attached to it for some reason. We get multiple responses. He's responded in Italian. He's responded in an Italian accent. I'm feeling he's like from Chicago or something like that. That organ was brought in. It was donated to the Historical Society, and they only brought it in like in the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't there for the first year and a half to 2 years that we had the house, and then all of a sudden there's this Italian guy, and we've had some responses from it, and I don't like him. He's a little jerk. He's not a Ron Iacovetti. He's a Chicago Italian. I'm just kidding.
I was really dizzy in this room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really dizzy. I kept calling him my uncle. Oh, it's my uncle, my Italian uncle.
There you go. So here is that clip.
Reading my mind, I'm asking if my Italian uncle's in here.
Ooh, I wasn't thinking that.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. So there's an organ over there. We can't see it right now. So there's that organ right there. So that is believed to have an Italian gentleman attached to it. Is that you that's now making that light go off also? So if it's the Italian gentleman, thank you.
I'm alone.
Thank you for touching that.
Sorry, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, I started to ask her if it was the Italian gentleman that was going to be attached to the organ.
Is that a dancer?
Thank you.
You guys saw that organ when you guys were there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a question because I've never used one of those cat balls. But what's the mechanism for it to go off? Movement?
No, touch.
A touch. Yeah, touch.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've never owned them, but there's a video on David Oman's YouTube channel
Hear my name.
before they became popular that we're in from his house because he had them. And if you touch it, it blinks. And then it doesn't have a mechanism to make it repeat. It has to be touched, I guess, every time it shoots off and does the little blinky. That's what he told us. We've never owned them.
Yeah, we don't have them either. So that's why I was curious.
Well, we've had them we've never used them for paranormal stuff except with people that carry them with them as equipment. But we've had them for the cats before, and it takes quite a bit of energy to get that light to come on. I mean, it's not just vibration from the floor or vibration from the table that'll set it off. It takes quite a bit of energy to get those things to set off. Like the cat literally has to bat it in order for the lights to go off.
Okay.
And
I was just curious because, like I said, we've never.
Yeah.
And it's the whole timing and relevance. So we're asking a question and we're getting it, it's pretty darn immediate response.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we actually had the tablet with the Phasma box running. It was on like the doily on the table or whatever. So there was a little bit of insulation, but I was curious. I went back multiple times from when it did trigger, when I asked the question, and I was listening for reverberation, and it triggered before you got like that kind of heavy bass kind of sound on the Phasma box. Because I was thinking, well, maybe it could have been a vibration that triggered the cat ball and not, just weird timing or whatever. So I don't think that was the case.
No, so Roger brings up a very good point. There's a metal cylinder in the center of the cat ball, and it has a weight in the middle, like a magnetic weight. It's not like hypermagnetic. But in order to make the connection and get the lights, it has to be an electronic connection, just like a light switch. It has to go from one side to the other.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay,
if the thing in the middle of the metal cylinder is in the center, it won't set off the cat ball. It literally has to go to one side and make contact, or go to the other side and make contact. So something literally has to move it or put enough pressure on it to get that metal cylinder to move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Roger, and thanks,
Thank you,
Chris.
Roger. Yeah, that's very helpful.
So nothing electronic will set it off. So it's not like
Right.
having the Phasma box close to it will set it off. Nothing like that will set it off. It literally has to move that contact in the center in order for it to react.
Right. So even if one touches the organ, it doesn't affect the balls.
Sometimes, but it depends on what you're talking about.
This is the bed we've made for ourselves.
Yes, it is.
Courtesy of Todd in naming clips.
Yeah, seriously, you're going to name all our clips from now on.
He's going to start naming clips from now on, not me.
So this next clip, I love this next clip, and I'll tell you why. Because we've been in control of the Montgomery house for 3 years or more.
Yeah.
And we've seen Sarah, we've felt Sarah, we've got a couple little responses. PPIT's gotten a couple little responses. Sarah really didn't come out until EVPE did an investigation there. And I hate to do this because Rathman's name gets said enough as it is. I don't want to make his ego swell anymore. But ever since Tony has saw her, the last few investigations, she has just been a predominant spirit in the house. She's really come out. I believe that when Raul was upstairs and every time he'd enter the room, Sarah's very shy. She'll hide. So every time he turned his back, she'd ring the bell to let him know she was there.
Mm-hmm.
This one is fantastic because it's a use of the dead bell and it shows you Sarah's personality upstairs. We're getting a lot more responses from Sarah now than we ever have.
Very cool.
So this one's pretty cool.
Cool. Oh my gosh, you're so good.
How old is Sarah? Do you know?
Don't.
Estimating between 10 and 12.
Sarah, can you tell us how old you are, honey?
This is teen.
No, it says teen.
Teen?
It just said teen, yeah.
Now it says care.
13? Can you ring that bell when I hit your age, Sarah? 10? 11? 12? 13? 14? 15? 16? Oh, come on, Sarah. You're not that old.
I think you're younger than that.
She's playing hard.
Are you 9? 8?
You playing games with Chris?
I think you're 10.
Yeah, I thought she was like between 7.
She's 10.
She's 10.
There you go. That was a double ring.
So we were right the first time. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
This is the most she's communicated.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was Dos Cocos and Dos Rings of the Bell.
There is.
And that, like you said, Chris, that kind of ties into the playful, like with Raul. And when he would turn his back, the bell would ring. And that was, she kind of, it almost had, it's that same type of interaction.
Well, and when Tony saw an apparition for the first time, it was Sarah.
Right.
And she was peeking around the banister on the second level by the landing. She still wasn't like standing out front. She was peeking.
Right.
And then you saw her again upstairs, right, Tony? She was peeking out the door.
She peeked out the window, looked at us from inside the house when we were outside the house.
So it's fantastic.
That's who was also calling Lourdes's name?
Yes. It was like every investigation up to that, we've gotten little pieces of Sarah. The minute EVPE did their investigation there, Tony saw her. She called Lourdes's name. She's been there almost every investigation since.
Wow.
It's been phenomenal. And prior to that, we couldn't get her to hardly respond at all.
Well, it's like now that I think we've really acknowledged her and she knows that, I think she's becoming more receptive to it too. So
That's very possible. Very.
Well, I'm sure she's becoming more comfortable with us too, because we're there all the time.
Agreed.
Yeah, it goes along with that theory that the more often you go to the same place, the more familiar the spirits get with you, the more confident they get to communicate.
Yeah.
Which would also explain why Mrs. Montgomery also always responds to Audra.
Mm-hmm.
Every time she's there, Mrs. Montgomery responds to Audra like crazy.
Yeah. Do you want to shake hands?
So,
All right.
I put out a quick query.
But
Can I put out a quick? Watch for flying.
So smooth.
So, and I didn't ask this to Raul or to everybody. I wanted to wait to ask on the show. So, I know Raul, you when you walked through, you had the video and you had those interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, you really didn't have that. It seemed like you didn't have that much, responses and stuff when you were, because what Raul was doing, he kind of walked around and he was doing his own thing, and that's great. And everybody investigates differently. I'm trying to think, and I'd be curious when we go back if we all stay together, if we get similar interactions, because I didn't know if we got as much of the reactions because we invited Chris and Audra, and we kind of, obviously you see we did a lot of interactions and had them right with us. So I didn't know if that was caused all the interactions that we had. Right. I was just, I was curious,
That's good observation.
Yeah.
It's possible. I'd be curious to see if the three of you in there would get reactions too, because they see us all the time. Even when I go out there by myself to prep the house for an investigation, first thing I do when I walk in is I say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
I talk to them like they're human. It's just the way we've always been. You hear this in the investigations. You hear.
We believe that theory about energy. The more people together, the more energy the spirit has to take from, so they could do more interaction. So when I'm walking by myself, it doesn't really have much energy. I don't have much energy at that point, so it doesn't have much energy to take away from me. So that could be another thing. That's another reason why we felt also by you guys coming in and investigating with us, if we see a familiar face, it'll be more likely to show up. See, when it sees a familiar face and just us three just walking around, we're strangers, and if Sarah is shy, she's gonna hide more. But when she sees people like Audrey or Chris, she feels like, okay, that's family. We could come out and interact.
That's true. Because we literally every time we're there, even if we're not investigating, we talk to them the whole time we're there. All right, we've got one more clip. K2, Mrs. Montgomery, Sarah 2, and it stopped.
This is QX10, Broccoli Rob,
and Sarah.
Tango Bravo. I think this is Carmella. I think she's got the K2, and there's an interaction where we weren't sure if it was Miss Montgomery, but then maybe she comes in, and then she's potentially right next to Carmella and kind of like almost holding on to her leg.
So here's what's interesting is when Lily and Frank and her daughter came out to investigate the Montgomery house. It's the first time I've been touched in the Montgomery house. We were upstairs. We were talking to Sarah, and I literally felt ice cold fingers grab my finger, like a little girl grabbing onto my finger. And I'm pretty sure it was Sarah because it was a small set of hands. It didn't feel like Mrs. Montgomery's man hands. And everybody's watching. If you see a picture of Mrs. Montgomery, you'd understand what Chris means by Mrs. Montgomery's man hands. She looked like a hard farming cotton plantation woman. She's not a petite thing. I can tell you.
Not feminine.
No. Dr. Montgomery was more feminine than Mrs. Montgomery. So I actually, when we were there, we were standing upstairs and we were talking to Sarah, and I literally felt 5 little fingers grab a hold of my whole hand and my whole index finger, and it was an ice cold grip. And that's the first time I've actually felt Sarah grab anything. Or that's actually the first time I've been touched in the Montgomery house. So I'm wondering if this was Mrs. Montgomery, if it was Sarah, because I can't imagine Mrs. Montgomery grabbing. She'd be more of a slapping type person. Here's that clip. Here we go.
All the way up to red, if that's you.
I just blocked her way.
All the way up to red. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, all the way to the top. I know you're mad at me. We're upstairs. You're trying to go to bed, but light that up for us. All the way. Make the red one go off.
You just did it. You can do it.
Do it again. You get really close to that and start yelling. It'll go to red. Wow. That's a hell of a spike.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Now go back down. Oh, yes, sir. Okay. Is Sarah moving in to hit the bell? Yeah? Is that you, Sarah? Yeah? Can you light that all the way up? That thing in Carmella's hand, can you light that up? Make all those pretty lights light up. There you go. There you go.
Does she ever touch your leg?
I've been
touched?
tugged on up here, but I don't know who it's from. There she
Well,
is.
there you go.
She like holding on to your leg? Wow.
Is that you, Sarah? By Carmella's leg right there? Light that up again. That's you. Make those pretty lights flash.
You can tug on my leg. It's fine.
That's awesome.
You can hang on to it.
My eye camera.
That's awesome.
What are you laughing at?
Sherry.
Why?
I'm sorry.
I always tell you got to keep an eye because we always eat. Like when we play videos because we haven't, I just got home from work and we don't. So we're always munching while we're on the show. And that's what Audra was laughing about because as soon as it stopped and the screen shows again, She's got a huge chicharron in her.
It won't fit in my mouth.
Go ahead, eat. You got to eat.
Yeah. It was just that split capture.
The look of surprise?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So
Good
Chris,
thing she washed her hands.
I do wash my hands.
so what were you feeling? What did you feel? What was the sensation that you felt?
Something was wrapped around my leg.
Okay. Was it cold, like Chris talked about, or you just felt more?
No, I just wasn't cold. I just felt something around my leg.
Wow.
That was a great clip, though. I mean, talk about timing and relevance of responses. That was
And then Chris, like I didn't think to ask, none of us, but Chris had the presence of a mind to ask, hey, is that Sarah coming in? Was it Miss Montgomery? Or is it Sarah? And then you get the direct response.
right. That was cool.
So that's
Very
why,
cool.
and we learn a lot. So that's why we appreciate, like I said, we've really been only formally investigating for a little over a year and a half now. And, we didn't have the presence of mind to ask that question, so it's nice it's learning. So going back and doing the reviews and stuff, it's helping us out, with, asking timing and relevance questions and stuff like that.
Right.
We appreciate that and learning from people that have been doing it for a while.
We still learn all the
Yeah.
time. So
So to answer Paul's question, Paul, no, normally we have never felt anything negative or dark at the Montgomery house. So that's why we're pretty sure that Sarah is a 10-year-old little girl. And she was only, before we even talked to the Historical Society about investigating the Montgomery house, they did have an investigator come in, and he's got a 15-minute clip on YouTube. And I'm going to be quite frank, the guy's a dipshit. And the only thing that he did say was that they saw a little girl in the window. We didn't pick her up for the first maybe year.
Mhm.
We didn't pick her up when we were in the house at all. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, are you getting a little girl upstairs? All of a sudden we started picking her up, and she's come out more and more and more and more. And normally when we go into a situation where there's something negative or angry or pissed off, I get a sick feeling in my stomach, and I have never gotten that in the Montgomery house at all.
Yep.
Never.
I get the same thing. Like whenever I enter somewhere that's negative, I start feeling like something in the pit of my stomach, like I want to throw up or something. In this house, you felt like there was somebody watching you, but you never felt negativity. You only felt like you weren't alone.
I can tell you, for such a small house, I mean, for an 1830s house, this is actually a mansion.
Right.
But for a regular size house nowadays, it's probably 1,800 to 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
But back then, that was a mansion. There's a fireplace in every room. There's a closet, stairs in every room except the one.
Yeah.
Which back in the 1800s they didn't have. And this house is literally still sitting on the same foundation it was in 1830. They didn't have that type of stuff back there unless you had money.
Yeah.
And never, ever, ever have we felt anything negative. We've had some pretty nasty responses out of nowhere.
Right.
But then PPIT caught that little Monchichi looking thing peeking over the table in the
I
courtroom.
think that was a baby Bigfoot from the mountains right there.
That's right.
Could be.
Could be. And for everybody watching, the Montgomery house and everybody you're seeing on the screen have been there and know it. It sits out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's at the base of the Uwharrie Mountains. There's woods behind it. The closest house is half-mile easy away. And then there's a church about a quarter mile down the road. It's way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There is a highway that leads to Mount Gilead that can be pretty active. Depends on what night you're there. Yeah, there you go. Everett's been there probably 7, 8 times.
You're right.
Yeah. PPIT's been there quite a bit. I never felt anything negative there at all. Now, in the woods outside, we've had a couple experiences where we felt some negativity, but it was only like one time, and it's weird. Wolves started howling, which we had never heard, and it eventually stopped and went away, but not inside the house, no. So I don't believe that Sarah is something negative trying to convince us, or we would have figured it out by now, as often as we've been there. And
Yeah.
I mean, we've been running it now for 3.5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, Chris, do you have the EVPs?
I do.
I didn't know if you were going to share them or not.
I can. It's going to have to be a screen share because they're way photos.
They have an interesting title.
So we caught the play. When we were still there, you and Raul picked up on this, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. Every time we have a new group in the house, something new or somebody new shows up. But you got to also remember, this was the courthouse for 2 to 8 years in Montgomery County because their courthouse burnt down. This was also the only doctor within a 75 to 80 mile radius.
Wow.
Back in the time where, I mean, you're talking horse and buggy.
Right.
Right? So between the Revolutionary and the Civil Wars when this house was built. So here are those clips. So everybody mute your mics because everybody's going to be able to hear you. Here we go. Here's the first one. Second one is slowed down. Here we go.
What was his name? Jeremiah. Jeremiah, was it you?
Or Joseph.
Or Joseph? Can you tell us who just rang that bell? Please.
For everybody watching, right at the tail end, right before the recording stops, here it is slowed down.
What was his name? Jeremiah, was it you? Or Joseph? Can you tell us who just rang that bell? Please.
All right. Everybody hear that?
Yeah.
At the very last second.
I don't hear anything now.
You didn't hear it?
That bell is unstoppable.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it sounded like one of Ron's clips in the beginning.
I was going to say, I was impersonation, sounding drunk, slowed at 50% speed. Right. So actually, because you and Raul reviewed it and we thought we heard something, and then when we were there, still in at Audra's house, and actually when you hear, because I'm asking Audra, she's right there. Hey, what were the servants' name? And she gives us the two names, and then when I'm saying, I think it was the second name, you actually hear over my voice simultaneously. You hear Jacob. And then at the end, you also, after the bell ring, and I asked the question, who rang it, and then you hear that Jacob at the end.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which is another first because that's a new name now.
Yeah.
I have to start writing this shit down. I'm too old to remember all this.
You should, because if anybody else comes and gets something comparable or gets, the same name or the same context or statements or something,
Yeah.
you start picking up trends.
So another very successful investigation at the Montgomery house.
Yep.
Yeah,
I really wish more people would come down to investigate the house. I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again, and then I'll let the three of you guys give your opinions on the house. Because I'm biased, of course, because we run it. All the money goes to the Montgomery County Historical Society to support the Montgomery house. We don't keep a penny of it. I go in and I spray 3 times a year for bugs out of my own pocket. Anytime there's anything that's fixed, I grab my tools, I go out there, I fix siding, I fix stairs, I fix doors. Audra and I go out there and sweep and clean it every chance we get because it's not bug tight. Let's just put it that way, because 1830s, y'all, it's literally been sitting in the same spot since 1830. Every single penny, and I will let you guys know this, every single penny that the $150 for a 3 to 4 hour investigation, and we don't watch the clock, guys. We've had groups there for 6-7 hours. $150, and then I add a minimum of 50 to 100, and I give that to the Montgomery House or the Montgomery County Historical Society.
It's really worth it. It's really worth it.
We don't keep a penny. It's not for applause. It's to keep places like this alive for people like us to have a place to go and investigate. That's the main focus.
And the history.
Preserving the history, huge.
And I'm gonna put Raul on the spot. The three of these guys, unmute your.
Yeah.
So I want to put Raul on the spot because I want everybody to know what type of person Raul is. So these guys paid for their investigation. They paid their $150. They left on Monday morning. I got ready to go to work. They had left for the airport. I came back in, and Raul had left another $100 to give to the Montgomery County Historical Society.
Nice.
Aww.
And I want everybody to know that because this guy,
big heart.
He's got a big heart, guys. This is fantastic. So that investigation alone paid for somebody to go out and mow the Montgomery house. Thank God, because all I have is a push mower. Paid for that. It paid for the alarm system to maintain the Montgomery house, and it paid for their electric bill, which isn't shit because there's only like 3 lights that work on the whole house anyway. For 2 months, just this one investigation.
That's fantastic.
So
Raul's a class act.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Raul is a class act.
And
he comes off a little bit rough, but Raul has got a heart of gold, man.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Now, let's hear your opinion on the Montgomery house. I always want your guys' feedback, and don't be nice just because we're here.
Want me to go first? I'll go first.
I'm the silent partner. I say nothing.
So I found it was great historically. I loved the area. I thought the house was very interesting and inviting in the way that you felt the energy there. You felt like every room was not only history was in every room, but also you felt like there was presence. There wasn't a time that I didn't think there was something there. I always felt that there was something there. That's why at certain points, if you notice when I'm doing the video, I turn around real quick to try to see if I catch something looking at me because I've always felt like you were being watched. And I thought the area was, was beautiful. And the combination between, it was like all 3 of my worlds in one because those mountains are known for not only Bigfoot sightings, but for UFOs. That's why I brought those binoculars. And also the house itself, you feel the energy of the house being, it feels definitely haunted. And I'm dying to go back again. I would love to go back again and do an investigation, bring different equipment, and spend more money on more equipment.
You're welcome to.
You're welcome to any time. Todd and Carmella.
I'm a silent one.
Ah, come on.
I want to go back because I want to go back and talk to Sarah, and I want to go back to the Italian guy. I need to know more about him. I mean, it was
His organ.
fun. I mean, I'm always quiet.
She's a sensitive, she's like you guys. And I know she talked to you, Audra and Chris, and, learned some things, how to handle, because she's, I mean, like I said, we've been together. I've always looked at her like she's crazy, but now I know she's not crazy, because of all the experiences that she has had over the years, and, kind of you guys talking to her and help her out. The house itself, yeah, it's a great location. I was surprised, maybe because it was in the moment, like we had a lot of captures. And at the time, maybe just because you're going through and you're not recognizing, like you don't realize how much. I mean, I was like, holy crap. When I put together the list and what we sent to Chris and Audra, it was like, holy shit, we got a lot of evidence. And that's why I asked that question earlier. It was like, I felt bad almost in a sense because we had a lot of activity compared to when I was talking with Raul. But like I said, I don't know if I'd like to go back for that. I definitely want to go back just to experience, to see if we have a similar type of experience, if we can build upon the experiences that we've had, the interactions, and maybe uncover a few more, names and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a wonderful location. Listen, we were fortunate, Chris and Audra, they got hearts of gold. All you guys have hearts of gold. They were kind, they put up, the three of us up, at, what do we call it? The good old B&B or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
all good
bed and breakfast. And, so we were fortunate, and it's worth going down there. The cost is nothing, like you said, it's about helping preserve the history. And there's a lot of history. You could just see everything that's in that house. It's worth saving. I mean, it just really is a great location. And we strongly encourage everybody to run to the Montgomery house. And, run, don't walk, run, because it's a great location, and hopefully everybody watching or rewatches this stream sees the evidence that we got, and it entices them to come down there.
Yes, and when you buy your dead bill, use code COCO25.
Yeah, you should. You should put a link and make some money off of it.
Right? They should. They really should.
We just want to, it's the it's just weird, the responses that we get with that thing, and I'm happy. Like I said, we want it to be, validation, for and timing and relevance, and we keep going to that, but it's what else can you say about it? So
that's awesome.
What's funny is Audra was talking about your cat ball video, and she goes, you know what we should do is we should get a bunch of cat balls. We should put them in every room of the house, and we should go there and ask Mrs. Montgomery if we spent the night, which room she'd want us to stay in.
Just in the upstairs. So if you got 4 of them upstairs,
right,
towards the end of the night, and just ask her, Mrs. Montgomery, is it okay if we spend the night? And in what room would you like us to stay in? Will you show us? And to see if that would.
Y'all saw the picture of Mrs. Montgomery. I told her none of them cat balls.
She's not soft around the edges.
No,
leave a cat ball outside, and that's the one she'll light up.
She'll and the 4 in the rooms will be out the window.
Right. Rolling down the stairs.
Get out my house.
Her name is BK. We call her BK because she's been known to kick a few cat balls in the during investigation.
My ball kicker.
Ball kicker. She's a
those obscure names of stuff. Ball kicker, moaning little girl.
Yeah.
Italian organ man.
The Italian organ
Did
man.
I miss my calling? Maybe I should go into naming movies.
Yeah. When you said you were BK, I was thinking about Burger King.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was awesome. It was awesome having you guys down here. It was fantastic. And thank you for letting us investigate with you guys. It was a great time.
It was a lot of fun.
Everybody watching, the 3 that you see at the bottom of the screen, of course, the 5 you see up top are pretty cool people too, but the 3 you see at the bottom of the screen are some of the most phenomenal people that we have met in the paranormal community. They're just kind people with great golden hearts, and if some of the best people you've ever met are the 3 down at the bottom. So if you ever get a chance to meet them out in person, take the time to shake their hand, get to know them a little bit. They're great people.
And we appreciate that. Yeah, very much.
I'm just going to
about you.
I'm just
not going to say anything.
Hey,
no
Rob.
matter how quiet Carmella is, she's pretty awesome too.
Yeah,
I'm very quiet. I'm watching everything.
She's always watching.
That's right.
All right.
Hey, Rob, hey, I know we talked about, so we're going to do we talked about what, the Carolina, Montgomery House, and then what's the other place that Chris and Audrey went to?
The USS North Carolina.
Oh no, Trivet Clinic.
Trivet Clinic, yeah.
So Trivet Clinic, the Montgomery House, and the USS North Carolina.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be a fun trip.
Add one more night to that tour, and you'll get the Rathmans out there.
That's right. Four mansion tour.
There you go.
We need a Seminelli with meat and flatbread.
Was Anthony here? I didn't see him. Anthony, we need cannolis.
I didn't see him.
It can be any bread, Chris, as long as he leaves it underneath all the equipment. For more than 24 hours, it's flatbread. Trust me.
That's correct.
And so yes, for everybody asking, everybody you see on screen, with the exception of Raul, will be at Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Raul will be in Seattle. You got a great investigation going up there, right, bud?
Yeah. I'll be in Seattle for 2 days, Hotel Sorrento, which is supposed to be a very well-known haunted place. And then I'm going on an Alaska cruise for my birthday.
Nice.
Cool.
Happy
Nice.
birthday.
So cool.
And July would be the time to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool.
Very cool.
Well, it's a bummer we're going to miss you at the bash, but it sounds like you're going to have a great time.
But I'll probably show up in August, so I'll probably see you guys maybe in August then. For the paranormal, you guys are doing a paranormal symposium, right, or something?
Yes. Yep.
19th.
Yep.
Yeah, we will be there for that.
Okay. So we have reached the point in the show for the Cocos and Raul. We call shameless plugs. Where can people find you? What are you up to? What you got coming up? Raul, go first.
Okay. I have nothing coming up other than business trips, and I always try to book each business trip in whatever hotel I can find that's haunted or Airbnb. So my next trip's up by Connecticut. So maybe Ron could suggest something. It's actually by Trumbull. So
really?
Yeah. So other than that, I have my trip in July, like I said, and I'm hoping in August to do the symposium. So hopefully I'll see everybody then.
Awesome. And Cocos?
As of right now, we don't have anything planned in June. July, I believe we have the Shanley with Maureen, and there's a group of us going up there.
We're going.
Yeah. Lourdes and Ron and Lourdes, and then some others. And then the following weekend, I think we're doing with Jenny, Frankie, we're doing the Collins, I believe it is, on July 13th. And then we're doing the Battlefield Bash. And then we'll be in August, we'll be at the symposium also. So that's all.
Wow, look at that.
Very cool. Very cool.
We already, so we'll get a double dose of Rathmans.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
BYOD, bring your own dead bill.
Dead bells, you get a dead bill, you get a dead bill, you get a dead bill.
Everyone gets a dead bill.
And
everybody.
And then we are on TikTok at 222PIR. So TikTok, Instagram, and I just created a YouTube. So it's just more for, like I said, just putting a place to kind of post the findings and stuff like that, and share it with people to get their kind of feedback and see what their thoughts are.
Fantastic.
And to learn. So
fantastic. I think.
Wow, what a freeze frame that is! Like,
whoa.
Did you see the look on Tony's face? He went and dropped something, and then
And it
plow.
froze.
it looked like the end of one of the like 70s or early 80s like the sitcoms, or like something like the Dukes of Hazzard when they would end it on
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's almost.
Or I was going to say, what would you name it?
What?
What title would you give that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm thinking when pounding, when Chris was like pounding, and then they're
I didn't do it this time.
green screen.
Yeah.
The green screen collapsed behind them.
No.
They might blame it on a puppy when they come back. If they come back, you never know.
His cocks went limp.
Yeah,
that's what it was. The cock.
That's
and
right.
there's Todd's name for it. There it is.
There it is.
You could call it the cock block.
Ah, there you go. Done. There's your next clip. There's your next clip.
All right. So we would ask Ron what he's got coming up, but I think Todd just told everybody.
Yeah, he went through the whole gamut of stuff. I'm happy that we're going to get to see, you guys on a lot of the stuff that's coming up. For sure, at the Gettysburg Bash, and then the three of you will be at the symposium as well, which is really cool. Raul, reach out to me about when you're going to be in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I know off the top of my head, but the guy who runs the cryptid and UFO conference thing I just did, he's up there, and so if there's anything he'll know. I can always put you in touch with him or ask him what he's got.
Definitely. Any place to visit or any places I could check out while I'm there would be great.
I'll get something from you. I'll talk to him.
Yeah, I always take advantage of all my work trips. I always end up going a day early and staying a day late.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
All right, guys. It was an awesome show. We loved having you guys out. Remember, if you guys want to check out the Cocos, you heard where you can find them. Raul's all over the place. You can find him everywhere.
Yep. 0 for 9 Dale.
Yeah, make sure you take the time to get out and meet these three people you see below us here. They are fantastic people and great people to be around. Also, remember to tune in next week to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. We will be back again. We don't know what we got yet, but we'll be back. And if you want to reach out to us and book an investigation with the Montgomery House, we'd be more than happy to have you come down. She is a fantastic place with fantastic communication, fantastic evidence that you can capture there. We've had multiple groups in. They've had a fantastic time, and all of that goes to support the Montgomery County Historical Society, and that's the most important part, that we keep places like this, keep them going, keep the history alive, so investigators like us and paranormal researchers like us can get out and do what we do every day in the field. But most of all, we do it so we can stay haunted. All right, guys, have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?